Hey Raiders, maybe don't do this before you play the Chiefs. Welcome to Red Kingdom Sports. Today we are going to be reviewing the Chiefs and Raiders game, Week 14 edition, and the Chiefs just absolutely destroyed the Raiders. This game wasn't even close. Literally from the first snap, this game was not close. The Raiders got absolutely stomped into the ground. The Raiders played a terrible game. The Chiefs offensively looked good. Great, I should say. Chiefs defensively has literally been the best defense in football for the past month. They've given up 9 points, I think, in 3 straight games. This Chiefs team has been playing absolutely insane. That was a great game by the Chiefs. Great game defensively. Great game offensively. This Chiefs team, if they play like this the rest of the year, the NFL is completely screwed. The defense is playing absolutely killer football. The offense is just playing great. They look great. Both games against the Raiders just absolutely destroyed them. Destroyed them. I think scored 89 points against the Raiders alone this year. It was a straight up dominating performance by the Chiefs against the Raiders. So let's get into this game and let's look at some stats. Let's start offensively because I think the offense played great in the story, but I think a lot of the story of this game, though, has to go to the defense again. I mean, the Chiefs score 48 points, score like four or five touchdowns, I believe, on offense, and I still think this game was about the Chiefs defense. So Mahomes, he went 20 of 24, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mahomes did not throw the ball that much at all. It just felt like the Chiefs offensively didn't run a lot of plays. Maybe they did. It just felt like the Chiefs offensively were very efficient. But yeah, 20 of 24, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns. Amazing stat line. Amazing game by Mahomes. Looked great doing it. Rushing stats, Derek Gore, 9 carries, 66 yards. That long touchdown. The game was already sealed at that point, but I wanted the Chiefs to run up the score because the Raiders decided to be stupid. Second year in a row when last year they decided to take a victory parade around the stadium, and then this year, standing on the logo before the game. The Raiders are absolutely stupid. They just give the Chiefs way too much bulletin board material every time they play, and it's just a bad look for the Raiders. Clyde had 10 carries, 37 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like he had those 2 touchdowns. His yardage wasn't great, but those 2 touchdowns obviously were great to help the game. Receiving wise, no one by themselves stood out. But it was a complete group effort. Tyreek Hill, 4 catches, 76 yards. McCole Hardman had a really good game, even though he only had 2 catches, 59 yards. Darrell Williams, 3 catches, 31 yards. Pringle had a good catch, 1 for 28. Kelsey, 3 for 27. Derek Gore had 2 for 28. Josh Gordon went 2 for 9 yards and had a touchdown, his first touchdown as a Chiefs. That was amazing. The offense was just so efficient. It wasn't just one guy the entire game. It was literally everybody. Everybody. Even Derek Gore, when he came in, he had his long touchdown run. We put all the backups were in. He had a great long TD run just to stick it to the Raiders because of how stupid their organization is and how bad they are and how dumb they are. So yeah, the offense, there's really not much to say about the offense. It looked great. It was on point. It could not be stopped. It was just a dominating offensive performance, a very efficient. They could do literally whatever they wanted. No turnovers in this game, which is huge. I'm glad we can say that. No turnovers, which is great to hear from a Chiefs team that struggled with turnovers early on in the season, but they have flipped a switch. It was the second year in a row, or second time that the Chiefs have lost to the Titans in the regular season, turned the season around, and became one of the most dominant teams in football. They're doing it again. They lost to the Titans in 2019 before they won the Super Bowl. They've lost to the Titans this year, and then they just went on a streak. They did it again. They started off 3-4 and are now 9-4, 6-game winning streak, and are third in the AFC just because they lost to 2 of those teams. But at the Ravens, the Ravens lost, so I think they're down. There was another team that's not off. The Titans are ahead of them, ahead of the Chiefs right now. And Titans are the only one ahead of the Chiefs who they lost to earlier this season. That's why the Titans are ahead of them. But I think because of how injured the Titans are, I think the Chiefs have a really good chance of pushing and possibly becoming the number 1 seed. You have the Patriots 9-4, Titans 9-4, Chiefs 9-4, and then the rest of the AFC is just absolutely insane. Nobody seems to want to win anything at the rest of the AFC. But offensively, I think the Chiefs played Chiefs football. They looked fantastic. They looked great. There's nothing to complain about. offensively, and there's absolutely nothing you can complain about defensively. There is literally zero you can complain about defensively from this game. The game literally from the jump, from the very first snap of the game, it was all Kansas City, all Chiefs. First play of the game, fumble, Mike Hughes takes it for a touchdown. And Mike Hughes, if you ask me, the MVP of this game was Mike Hughes. So he had the touchdown. I think he had 2 forced fumbles and a fumble recovery, obviously the one for a touchdown. Mike Hughes was absolutely all over the place with Snead out, unfortunately, family issues. A guy who doesn't play very much, Mike Hughes, he completely stepped up. He's my MVP of this game for the Chiefs by far. But it's just not Hughes. He had a great game. Everybody had a great game defensively. Literally everybody. Tyrann Mathieu had an interception. Willie Gay all over the place as usual. Jaron Reed showed up, had a good game. Charvarius Ward, Nick Bolton, Amari Watts. But yeah, the Chiefs defensively, they played. It was a fantastic game. Frank Clark looked amazing. Chris Jones looked great. And Melvin Ingram, thank you Steelers for being stupidly ran right now. Like, really, you gave the Chiefs Melvin Ingram, who literally changed the entire Chiefs defense, that one guy, and then everybody getting healthy. Frank Clark getting healthy, Chris Jones getting healthy, playing Thornhill instead of Sorensen. Like, this defense was just dominant against the Raiders. It was dominant. 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers. This defense has completely flipped a switch. Completely flipped a switch. This team might be one of the hardest teams to beat in football right now. The offense looked fantastic. They can win with defense like they did, every game except for these 2 Raiders games. They can win with offense like they did with these 2 Raiders games. So the Chiefs can win multiple different ways at this point. So at this point, the Chiefs are probably the scariest team in the NFL to be playing. I put the Patriots up there as another one, and probably the Packers and Cardinals, maybe the Buccaneers. But man, that was a beautiful game. It ended 48-9. I forgot to mention that just because I wanted to get into it. 48-9. It was a scoregami. That was great. Chiefs absolutely dominated. And the Raiders from the get-go were dumb pregame, stepping on the logo. You just gave them way too much bulletin board material. And you guys are so dumb that you take a victory lap in week 5, and that was your Super Bowl, beating the Chiefs 40-32, that the stadium decides to taunt you on your way out, and they're playing the wheels on the bus go round and round. Congratulations, Raiders. You are the absolute worst team in the AFC West. You're a joke. You deserve this loss. You looked terrible in it. The only guy on your entire team was Hunter Renfrow, and even that dude was fumbling away the game. So, yeah, it was not a good game by the Raiders whatsoever. The Raiders got destroyed. It's nothing better than destroying a Raiders team. Makes my day. It made everybody's day on Twitter. The Raiders stink. And the Chiefs, for all those talk of them being broken weeks 1 through 6, I think it's safe to say they weren't broken. They were just a little bit off. Because the defense, best in football since week 6. Giving up 9 points, I think, in 3 straight games. This Chiefs team is great. They're going to be hard to beat. Mahomes looked great today. Everybody on the offense today. This was the most complete team. Everybody looked great in this game. Literally everybody. There is not on defense. I gave it to Mike Hughes just because of how great he played. But there's not one guy that stuck out more than the other. Everybody played great, and the Raiders couldn't stop any of it, and the Raiders couldn't do anything for themselves. Anytime they had any momentum, they fumbled it away. They literally fumbled away 4 fumbles by the Raiders. That was a terrible game by the Raiders. The Raiders stink. They do their annual start off hot and then free fall. They started off 5-2, and I think they're 1-5, 1-6 since then. The Raiders are terrible. They have a lot of things they're going to have to do. And the Chiefs, Chiefs are all the way back. A dominating performance. They're clicking at the right time. Defense, great. Offense, great. Everything looked great in this game. But that is my review of the Chiefs-Raiders Week 14. Chiefs won 48-9. It was a scoregami. Give me your thoughts down below of what you thought of the Chiefs defeating the Raiders, and I will see you in the next one.